time-sensitive airdrop updates, celebrity coins and how to profit from them, stablecoin alternatives for the market crashes we are slightly experiencing at the moment, and so much more. Let's get started. So let's start with 3 time-sensitive updates. First one being Astrol Finance. They've added an extra step to verify your eligibility before TG. You have 21 days as of making of this video, and everyone who does not verify will probably not receive an airdrop. These kinds of campaigns have usually been mixed with not the best results. However, in this case, you don't have a limited amount of time, like 1 or 2 days, and some of the comments say that this has been a hacked account, but in most cases that is not going to be the case because it is not super time sensitive. You have almost 3 weeks for this specific occasion. For everyone in the GameSwift ecosystem, if you are a GSPay staker, make sure to connect your GameSwift platform account to your wallet that is staking the tokens, because something cool is coming on the horizon. Of course, if you don't have an account, you will need to create one, but for now, they just say keep up with the socials and you'll be glad you did it. And third time-sensitive update is from Turtle Club. This one, if you've done any airdrop Legos in the past with them, you're definitely going to want to manage your account and connect X. Probably something to do with Kaito, but we will find out soon enough. Next up, we have news from Union Foundation. The Airdrop pre-claim registration is live, and 4% of the token supply is going for this part of the airdrop. Of course, these numbers are not the best, but some of that is going to be boosted and contributed in the future. For now, let's just focus on what's ahead. Testnet users are participating in eligibility criteria. There's also going to be reserved a portion for Kaito yappers and ecosystem projects and contributors. Of course, what you'll need is Union Dashboard ID, you'll need a Next account, and Stargaze Cosmos address. At least there is one positive in all of this, because there's going to be a proof of humanity. So a lot of users will probably be disqualified through various bot activities or similar, but at least you can also pre-stake. If you believe this is bullish enough, you can pre-stake to get boosted staking vault rewards, and this is going to be everything from 20% to 500% boost depending on your activity with this project in the past. Next up, we've had the unlock and release of World Liberty Finance token. If you're not familiar, that is from the Trump team and Trump administration. They are basically trying to redefine DeFi and bring more liquidity on chain. However, one thing to note, last time this happened in January 17th, the Trump token managed to suck up most of the liquidity from the market because, as you remember, it has rallied all the way up to $70 in the first couple of days, only to crash by almost 90% in the coming weeks and months. So nothing of this is, of course, ever financial advice, but if you believe that this is something that might have some legs to stand on, we can go through a couple strategies that would minimize your risk and maybe lock in the most gain. Of course, if you're among the lucky few who managed to get into the pre-sale, you're sitting on nice multiples, but that was the minority, so let's focus on what we can do now. First of all, the easiest way to profit from this, if you understand LPing and Meteora in general, is to simply LP with Solana, because there's been a massive amount of volume, of course, as all new launches do, but keep in mind that this one has been dropping about 40% already since yesterday. So if you're going to be taking a risk with some of these really good yielding pairs, like, of course, BinStep 101% is usually the best one, you can generate really great daily returns. However, you must be prepared for the impermanent loss you're going to incur with the World Liberty financial token actually dropping in value, as was very, very expected. So if you're going to be LPing with this, you definitely want to try smaller amounts and go all in on SOL and make sure to buy up World Liberty Finance as it's dropping in value, if you believe it's going to make a small comeback. Either way, the percentages for daily yield are insane. You can get 15 to 25, 30% in some cases daily. So hopefully the impermanent loss you will incur might be offset through the crazy yield generated. You can also take a chance with this 0.4% pool, because at current numbers, it is generating the highest possible return on volume based on its current TVL, because the 2% pool is usually not the best idea, considering that priority on swaps from dexes is going to be for the best rates for the users, which is usually 0.4 and 1% pools respectively. Also, keep in mind that while you might be generating a massive amount of fees, the Season 2 Meteora is going to be fully reliant on just fees generated, not total value locked included. So that is another metric that you should consider. Portfolio allocation is not going to matter anymore, so whales could be excluded. But again, you need to really look at the chart and just, if you cannot leave this overnight, because it can really crash out of nowhere, just like Trump did back in the day. And another example of how risky all of these things are is, of course, Kanye West's recent launch of Easy Token, where 51,000 traders lost, while only 11 wallets netted over 1 million. So whether this was speculated on to be insider trading or not, it was enough to crash the price dramatically, which is just another reminder that if you're going to play these risky games, you really need to be in and out while making a profit, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Of course, if you do want to make money in these turbulent markets, very uncertain, one of the easiest way to do that is to be around people who understand the playing field and the game very, very well. And one of the best ways to do that is to stay informed. We have an announcements tab, we have a general tab, we have many different airdrops we're actively tracking, but also diversifying into yield farming. And if you want to be a part of this DeFi community, you definitely want to consider joining on the subscriptions tab, which is always in the first link of the description of every video. Also, if you're interested in yield farming, you might want to consider a hands-off approach towards yield farming, where you're generating 10% in passive income every single month. We have some big updates for you in this regard and expect them within a 2-week timeframe. And on topic of NFTs, anyone who has interacted with Noya AI DEXs or dApps, you might have an NFT waiting for you. At the moment, you can sell it for just around $40-50, but it did have a floor price of about 200 a couple of days ago, so maybe something to speculate on. There is also some utility if you want to go with Kaito bonuses or bonuses in the app itself, but for now, free money is free money. They also have a points program or experience program, so maybe there's going to be an airdrop in the future. Now, the next one is actually in the build-out phase, but it is currently accessible to people who are building dApps, or they just want to maybe move their application to a stable platform, because it has been receiving a good amount of funding from reputable sources, such as Bitfinex, 28 million to be exact. At the moment, it is not anything for users, but developers can choose to use USDTO as gas for their applications, which simplifies a lot of user experience for many, many different people. And finally, we have USD AI. This is a very complex project with interesting mechanics that we're going to go through in maybe a future video. But essentially, they're at the intersection of DePIN, AI, and stablecoins. So let's just go through really quickly how it's going to look like if you wish to take part. They have an ICO part, 70% of the supply, with different types of possibilities to join. Of course, something with allocation is to be considered, but if you wish to participate in the ICO part, remember that you will also have to cash out a little bit of your profits or a little bit of your investment. You have to reserve to actually get in the ICO stage. This is a lot more speculative. If you want a little more safer bet, it's probably better to go with Airdrop. And in this case, you have several options as well, ranging between 17 to 18% APY. And this also comes with a bit of an allocation boost for the airdrop, but it doesn't entail any inherent risks with investing in ICOs, which have been really hit and miss ever since the last bull market. And that is a wrap for all the topics for today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, have an amazing day.